Welcome to The Explainer. All right, today we're talking about something I think a lot of us can relate to, that invisible cage of shyness and fear. You know what I'm talking about, right? That feeling of being held back by anxiety. Well, if that's you, you're in the right place.
So, let's kick things off with a really powerful idea from the source we're looking at. Just think about this for a second. You have all this potential, right? I mean, you could be faster than a cheetah. But then fear steps in, and suddenly it makes you the prey. It just freezes you right in your tracks, even though you're capable of so much more.
So what exactly is this invisible cage? Well, for a lot of us, it's built out of things like shyness, social anxiety, that gut-wrenching fear of being judged. It's that constant little voice in your head worrying about what everyone else is thinking. Sound familiar? Okay, so the big question is, how do we break out of it? Let's dive in.
All right, here's our game plan. We're going to walk through a really clear 5-step method to help you get that confidence back. We'll start with understanding the fear, then accepting ourselves, reclaiming our focus, getting some real-world practice, and even using a tool you have right in your pocket. First things first, though, we gotta understand the beast we're trying to tame. Yeah, before we can even think about a solution, we've got to get right to the heart of the problem itself. What is this fear really? And where on earth does it come from?
Okay, so the material we're pulling from says the very first step is to get super specific. We're talking about figuring out your own personal flavor of fear. Is it the fear of failing? Or maybe it's that fear of what other people will say or think, being laughed at or judged. Pinpointing exactly what it is for you, that's absolutely crucial. It's the only way to start taking back control.
Okay, that brings us to our very first actionable step. And this one is all about looking inward and really identifying what's going on.
And here's the bottom line, really. You can't fight an enemy you can't name. It's that simple. So you got to be able to look it in the eye. I mean, really take a second, dig deep, and ask yourself, honestly, what is at the absolute core of my shyness?
So once you've named that fear, the next piece of the puzzle is all about changing the relationship you have with yourself.
I love this because it shows the exact mental shift we need to make. Look at the difference here. On one side, you have that harsh, self-critical voice saying, I'm flawed, I'm not good enough. But on the other, you have a much more realistic and frankly powerful view. Hey, nobody's perfect, and my strengths are my own. See, the source material really argues that a huge driver of fear is this constant comparison game we play. The only way to win is to stop playing. And the way you do that is through self-acceptance, embracing everything you are, flaws and all.
Okay, so we're working on the mindset. That's huge. Now let's talk about habits, because this next point suggests that our confidence is directly tied to some very specific personal behaviors.
Right, so according to the source material we're looking at, certain habits like watching adult content or masturbation can actually eat away at self-confidence. The idea here is that these things can kind of trap you in a cycle of shame and anxiety. They offer this quick, easy hit of gratification, which, the argument goes, might lessen your drive to go out and make real-world connections. And that, in turn, can make it even tougher to feel genuinely good about yourself.
And this really highlights the effects the source claims these habits can have. Things like not being able to make eye contact, feeling intensely shy, even physical signs like shaking. The loss of confidence, a scattered mind, it's all part of it. But here's the flip side. The source suggests that by abandoning these habits, you can reclaim your focus, and it claims you might see a really noticeable boost in your self-assurance in as little as a month.
All right, let's get practical. Enough with the theory. It's time to move into some real-world application.
So the whole idea here is to start small and build up. Think of these as little exposure exercises. They're meant to be super low stakes. I mean, going to a market, asking a shopkeeper for a price, maybe even trying to negotiate a little, or asking a stranger for directions, even if you already know the way. Each one of these is like a rep at the gym, but for your social muscles. And every single one makes you a tiny bit stronger and a whole lot less afraid.
Okay, for our final step, we're going to use a tool that I guarantee you have with you right now. Yep, your smartphone. Let's talk about how to turn that little device into your own personal confidence-building studio.
Now listen, the point of this isn't to become some big YouTube star, okay? Not at all. It's about creating a totally safe space for you to practice. Just pick a topic you like, record a short video of yourself talking about it, and maybe upload it unlisted so only you can see it. Then you watch it back. It's just a way to get comfortable with your own voice, your own presence. Think of it like your own private rehearsal studio.
And it's so important to remember this. Confidence is not built overnight. It just isn't. It takes consistent practice. You're not going to sound like a professional speaker on your first try, and guess what? That is totally okay. That's actually the whole point. It's all about that consistent effort over time.
All right, so let's wrap this up and bring it all together. What are the key takeaways here?
So here they are, your 5 tools for building confidence. First, you've got to know your fear. Name it. Second, accept yourself, imperfections and all. Third, reclaim your focus by addressing those habits the source links to low confidence. Fourth, get out there and practice real-world interaction in small ways. And fifth, use your phone as your own private practice studio. See how it all fits together? You're addressing your inner mindset, your habits, and your practical skills. It's a complete framework for building confidence from the inside out.
So the real question is, which of these steps will you take first? Because real change always begins with that first single action. You don't have to do it all at once, just pick one. Your journey to breaking free from that invisible cage, well, it can start right now, today. Every single day is a new chance to learn something, to think something new, and to do something new.